All right, y'all. Back at you again with some more some prime content. We're the Jeff Bezos of YouTube here. We're bringing you nothing but prime content. And I'm here today with my two buddies.
Teddy, Reese.
And you can see Teddy still has the mulberry lipstick on from our mulberry picking. So anyways, today we're gonna bring you another Native American artifact hunting video. This time, if you watched our last video, we did a lot of hunting in the water and down on the beach on our property. But today we're actually gonna be hunting in the woods and in our gardens, because we find all sorts of artifacts all around the place here. So first off, we're gonna bring you over here to our, what do we call this, Teddy?
The secret corner.
The secret corner. We call this the secret corner. This corner seems to always produce some kind of artifact for us if we look hard enough. So we're gonna go over here.
Some kind of artifact or like vertebrae or something.
Yes, sometimes we find vertebrae. We actually have remnants of shell middens on our property. You can see here, just here in the ground, there's all sorts of oyster shells and little clam shells and stuff, and occasionally we will find vertebrae from bigger fish that the Native Americans...
Yeah, one of our vertebrae were about this big.
Yeah.
Which is really big.
I think one will be one that says that it...
Yeah, see, here's a nice, what Reese found right here is a little assortment of shells and stuff.
Yeah.
You can see that the ground's littered with shells. The ground is littered with shells. You know, again, our property, we think, used to be a fishing camp for the Native Americans, and there's certainly a lot of evidence that they were here at one time. So we're gonna head on into our secret little corner in here and see what we got.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Yeah, you guys can go around that way, and we'll head in here. We got some leaf cover on the ground.
Yeah, we need to take a look.
You guys, I know most of you guys watching here live in a part of our country where your leaves fall in the fall, and then you have no leaves on the trees until the spring. But down here in Florida, a lot of our trees, our fruit trees and stuff, our mangoes, our gumbo limbos, they actually lose their leaves. They might do this a couple times a year, but they actually lose their leaves in the spring before they put on their flush of flowers and new leaves for the growing season. So here we are in April with a whole bunch of leaf litter all over the ground. So we're gonna have to move some of this. Let's move some of this and see if we can find anything under here, guys. Anything at all. I tell you what, we're gonna do a little searching, and we'll get back at you guys when we uncover something, and we'll make sure not to touch it so you can see what it looks like when we find it, and then when we discover it. All right, y'all, here we are. We're deep into our secret corner here, and you can see again, this is an old shell midden. Basically, a shell midden is like a big pile of shells and you know, other bones and bone fragments from meals that the Native Americans would make. They would, you know, go harvest a lot of oysters and other fish and stuff and prepare big pots of stew and stuff like that, and they would throw all the shells into these big shell middens. We have some massive shell middens in Florida. Unfortunately, some of them were used by early white settlers here for road base, for road material. So some of our old roads here in Florida actually used to be shell roads. In fact, the A1A, I believe, used to be an old shell road before they paved it. So we're gonna look through this shell midden and see if we can't find, what's that? There's something dark right there. What is that?
This?
Yeah, it doesn't look like anything. Nope. Let's see, we gotta move all this leaf litter. See if we can find something good down here. Tell you what, guys,
I see something.
Oh, Teddy. Oh, look at this. Hold on, Teddy.
Nice
nope.
color.
Yep. Well, hold on. Let's see what you got there. All right. All right. And before you pick it up, hold on. Before you pick it up, you know, some of this pottery, you know, it's hundreds of years old. You might be wondering, well, how is it laying right on top of the ground? Well, if you see right here, a crab came, I would guess it's a crab, came and dug out a hole We have land crabs here where we live in Florida. And he dug out a hole. You can see all this stuff he dug out right here. And we might have gotten lucky. He might have dug us out a piece of pottery. So let's see what it looks like. What you got there? Oh, it is a piece of pottery. Look at that. Look at that.
I'm just gonna like dig through what this guy dug up.
Yeah. Look at that. It's got some nice color to it.
I know.
Look at that. So there we go. We got our first piece.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and cut this off for now and keep searching. If we come across something else, we will get right back to you. All right, y'all, back at you here. Teddy just found another. I don't think this is a crab hole. I think this might have been a beginning of a gopher tortoise hole that the gopher tortoise gave up on. But you can see.
Maybe he hit a root.
Yeah, he might have hit a root and gave up. But as you can see, he picked up some debris here. This is at the base of a massive strangler fig. It's massive. It's real big.
They're called strangler figs because they strangle.
Yeah. So what Teddy's pointing at, point at that in the middle. Right there is actually a cabbage palm. You can't see it, it goes up through there. Believe it or not, that cabbage palm is still alive. The strangler fig did not kill it, but it used it as kind of a support. And you can see it started growing its own root system, basically its own trunk off of this one. And then it spread over here and we just have a massive, massive strangler fig here. I mean, this is one of the bigger trees on this island. It's just massive. It's hard to tell from this footage. But anyways, at the base of it, we have what looks like a gopher tortoise, the start of a gopher tortoise hole, and Teddy is gonna pick through some of this stuff.
And there's also some stuff in there.
Oh, look at that. There's some stuff up in here too. Do you guys see anything?
Nothing over here. I'm gonna go down like by layer, just to check. It doesn't look like there's any shells.
Yeah, this doesn't look quite as promising as our...
But over here,
yeah,
it
do you
looks
see anything over there? Yeah, let's move some of that stuff.
Over here, we have... Inside the strangler fig, it looks like something dug it up inside the strangler.
It does. All right, guys, I tell you what, let's hop back over here and keep searching our
Secret.
yeah, the Bermuda Triangle here, the Bermuda Triangle of Native American pottery. Now, of course, anyone who's into hunting Native American artifacts is probably the most excited about finding a spear point or an arrowhead or something like that, and we have yet to find either of those. We find a lot of pottery. We find a lot of evidence of, you know, old shell middens and stuff, but we've yet to find a spear point or an arrowhead here on our property. So we always have our eye out for that.
Oh, look what I just found.
Oh, yep, there we go. So here's a good example. Among all these oyster shells and stuff, Teddy just found a vertebrae. This is most likely some kind of fish vertebrae.
Ooh.
It looks big enough. It could be maybe a snook. A redfish. Those are common fish that we have here in our waters.
I also found a cool looking little rock.
Nice.
It has like holes in it.
Nice. Let's keep looking.
You could tell that they were eating here.
Right here, buddy.
And
all right, well, all right, y'all. We're gonna keep looking and we'll get back to you if we find something. All right, y'all. We're back here again at a slightly different location on our property. This is a little garden bed. Well, it's supposed to be a garden bed. I have neglected to garden it, but it will be a garden bed one day, and we have found several pieces of pottery in this bed, so we're gonna give it a little look. Look at that right there. It's a teeny little piece. Do you see that?
oh yeah,
I think it's a piece.
wood.
Is it wood?
A piece.
No, that's pottery.
It
Believe it or not, guys, that's a teeny little piece of pottery.
The wins for the smallest.
Oh, yeah, wins for the smallest. Now, we're not trying to find the smallest. We're trying to find the biggest.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law is not too impressed with our pottery shards. She's waiting for us to find an actual piece of pottery down here in the woods, but I don't think we're gonna get a whole piece of pottery. You never know. Hopefully I'm proven wrong. You can see again that this is some kind of the remnants of an old shell midden. All these little shells, these little clams and stuff. If I have my history right, I think they'd just make a big boiling pot of stuff. Fish and clams and stuff like that, and then this would be the remnants that's left over from it. Oh, actually look, it looks like we do have some stuff popping up in our garden.
What
I
is
think that's
that?
a watermelon seed. Oh, there's another
Whoa.
watermelon over there, so I need to start weeding this.
Watermelon seeds.
Yeah, all right, well, let's get back to our hunt. You see anything here, buddy? Maybe right over here. Watch out for watermelons.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared.
Oh, there's another watermelon right there.
Whoa. Yeah, now
There we go. So, we're lucky here in Florida. We don't have a lot of rocks where we live. We just have sand. So when we find something hard and black, there's a good chance that it was brought here by somebody, whether it be Native Americans or one of the past owners of this house. But anyways,
here's another good example of a
oh, look at this
shell
right here. Here we go. Look at this, guys. Right down there is another vertebrae.
midden. Whoa.
Right there.
That's a small vertebrate.
And so we are also avid bone and fossil hunters. So every time we find a bone or a fossil, we get stoked about that too. I know it's not quite as exciting as finding an actual hand-shaped piece of Native American pottery or a Native American arrowhead, but still very exciting to us nonetheless. All right, y'all, we're gonna sign out, and we'll come back if we find anything else.